What are the common mistakes that people make while writing? Are you a writer, an author, an online publisher, expert or influencer, a public speaker, an entrepreneur, a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a banker, a teacher, or even a student? In this video, I will be teaching you some of the common mistakes that you must avoid while writing. Hi, my name is Uduaketim Samuel. I'm a speech and writing accuracy expert for beginners and advanced learners in English language. I'm also a creative writer and an editor. I'm a book project consultant, author's coach, and content manager. You're welcome to the video 4 of this lesson. Now let's get started. Here are the common mistakes that people make while writing. Number 1 is what we call the subject-verb agreement error. Number 2 is missing comma after an introductory element. Number 3 is misusing the apostrophe with its. Number 4 is the full stop error. And number 5 is the small letter I error. Okay, now let's take a look at the subject-verb agreement error. The subject and verb agreement error poses that when the subject of a sentence is indicating plural or it's in a plural state, that means the verb in that sentence must also indicate plurality. In other words, if the subject of a sentence is indicating singularity, the verb in that sentence must also indicate singularity. Okay, let's take a look at what we're talking about here. Subject-verb agreement error. A good example of this is the people. The people is coming. And the people are coming. Now look at this. From here, the subject of this sentence is the people because it's taking the head word, and look at the verb. The people, is it referring to a person or more than one person? It is referring to more than one person. So we say the people is coming. It's very wrong for you to say the people is coming. It's very wrong. The correct thing for you to say is the people are coming. Look at that. Because here, the subject of the sentence is in a plural state, so the verb of this sentence must also be in a plural state. Okay, now number 2 is what we call missing comma after an introductory element. Commas should be used with introductory words, phrases, and clauses. The reason why you need to use comma is that it gives the reader a slight pause and often, avoid confusion in a sentence. Okay, now look at number 2, we say is what? Missing comma. Missing comma after an introductory element. Missing comma after an introductory element. Okay, now let's take a look at this sentence. Look at this. In case you haven't noticed, my name does not appear on the article. Okay, now look at this. It is very wrong for you to write this sentence like this, missing comma after an introductory element. In case you haven't noticed, my name doesn't appear on the article. Now here, we're not giving the reader a slight pause. So we're supposed to use comma here. In case you haven't noticed, comma, my name doesn't appear on the article. That would be perfect. The next thing that we're going to consider is what we call misusing the apostrophe with its. Now, whenever you use the apostrophe its, it means maybe that word means it is or it's as. Without the apostrophe, that means it belonging to it. Okay, now let's learn how to use the apostrophe its in a sentence. Okay, here is a sentence that we're going to take to illustrate this. The sentence says, I can't believe it's Friday. Look at this. And I can't believe it is Friday. Okay, so the correct way of writing this is with the apostrophe s. Why? Because here, this its is referring to it is. I can't believe it is Friday. So you cannot say, I can't believe it's its Friday. It is very wrong. Let's take another example to illustrate this. The cat is licking its tail. So that you understand better what we're trying to say. And the cat is licking its tail. Okay, now this one, look at this. The cat, this is referring to like this belonging to it, okay, and not referring to either it is or it has. So we cannot say the cat is licking its tail with the apostrophe s. It's really very wrong, please, okay? Rather we say the cat is licking its tail because the tail is belonging to the cat, please. Okay, and remember this one will say, I can't believe it is Friday. This is the correct one, while this one is wrong. The next error that we're going to take that people commonly make when they're writing is what we call the full stop error. Now, the full stop error happens when a sentence begins with a capital letter and doesn't end with a full stop. No, in English language, at the end of a complete sentence, there must be a full stop to show that that sentence has ended. Otherwise, it means it's still hanging. So some other person can come and continue from whatever you were writing. So, in order to avoid this mistake in writing, at the end of a complete sentence, you must put a full stop. Now, let's take a look at this. Okay, number 4. We say it is the full stop error. Look at this. The full stop error. Now let's take a sentence to illustrate this. I have credited the secretary's account with 1 million naira. Okay, look at this. It's very bad for you to write like this. This is a common mistake that people make whenever they're writing. A sentence must begin with a capital letter, like this, letter I, and it must end with a full stop, okay? If you leave it open like this, some other person can come and add anything. It's just like in banking. When you do not have anything to write again, you have to draw a zigzag line before you bring your total down. Same thing is applicable to the English language. So when your sentence has conveyed a complete thought, the next thing that you do is what? Put a full stop at the end of your sentence. Now another mistake that people make again with the writing that is still applicable to the full stop error is that after a full stop, the next word, the next letter of the word that you're going to write begins with a capital letter. So you cannot say there, okay, maybe let some people write like this, they use small letter T. The manager ordered it. Okay, look at this. It's wrong because look at, here's a full stop. The next word, which is this letter T, should begin with a capital capital letter and not a small letter. Okay, so try to avoid this mistake when you're writing. The next mistake that we're going to consider that people commonly make with the writing is the small letter I mistake. Now, letter I, whenever letter I appears in a word and it's standing alone, it's not in company of other words, that letter I must always be in a capital letter. Okay? You cannot in any way write it using a small letter except if in the company of other words, but whereby the letter is standing alone in a word, you must write it using a capital letter. Okay, let's illustrate this. That is number 5, and we say is what? The small letter I error. Small letter I. Okay? Maybe I should write it like this so you can know better. Small letter I error. Okay, now let's use a sentence to illustrate this. I'm writing a sentence and I'm saying, my friend and I are colleagues. Look at that. And the next one says, my friend and I are colleagues. Okay, look at this. This is what we refer to the small letter I error. Whenever letter I is standing alone in a sentence, you do not write it using a small letter. Look at this. This is a very bad writing in English language. So rather, you write it using a capital letter. But whereby it's in the company of other words like this. My friend, look at the letter I here. It's written in a small letter. So now I've shown you the common mistakes that you must avoid while writing. Isn't that awesome? I bet it is. In the next video, we will be diving into some questions that creative writers and authors ask in improving their writing. Some questions that creative writers and authors ask in improving their writing. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to this channel for more videos. Thank you and hope to see you again.
Are you a creative writer or author? Please subscribe to this channel. Do you want to learn to speak and write well? Please subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Subscribe. Thank you.